Ukrainian reconnaissance drones flew into Crimea and hit 5 components of the S-400 Triumph air defense system. The Directorate of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine reported that the combat operation was carried out by the Ghosts Special Unit. The drones of this special unit consistently continue to weaken the Russian air defense system in the temporarily occupied Crimea. This time, they managed to hit critical and expensive components of the air defense system of the occupied Crimea. In particular, the drones hit 2 92 N6E multifunctional radar control stations. 92 N6E is responsible for detecting, tracking targets, and guiding missiles. Its main characteristics include simultaneous tracking of up to 100 targets and guidance of up to 72 missiles. 2 91 N6E radar stations, which provide detection, tracking, and targeting for missile systems, were also hit. In addition, the drone managed to reach the S400 launcher, which was probably loaded with missiles. Radars are the eyes of an enemy air defense system. Without them, anti-aircraft systems become ineffective, the Defense Intelligence noted. The S-400 Triumph air defense system in the Russian armed forces replaced the Soviet-Russian S-300 air defense system and is actually its modernized version with enhanced combat capabilities. With the introduction of the S-400, the Russians began to actively promote it for export. Russian propaganda at all levels disseminated materials stating that this air defense system is perhaps the most powerful in the world. However, the full-scale Russian-Ukrainian war that began in February 2022 revealed the real capabilities of this weapon, in particular in the confrontation with Ukrainian attack drones on the occupied peninsula. Footage from the 14th Separate UAV Regiment shows a Switchblade 600 striking Russian military vehicles with precision. The column was bogged down and wiped out in moments. In addition, an artillery piece was destroyed. The US-made Switchblade 600 is a powerful loitering munition designed for precision strikes against armored targets. Portable and quick to deploy, it can fly for up to 40 minutes, identify a target, and dive in with lethal accuracy. Equipped with a tank-killing warhead and real-time video feed, it allows operators to abort or redirect the strike mid-flight. Used in Ukraine and elsewhere, the Switchblade 600 is redefining how small teams can deliver big firepower, with minimal risk and maximum impact. A Russian Bukanka, after being gutted during the special military operation by Ukraine's defense forces, finally started up properly, but it still won't be going anywhere.
3 колеса целых, бак целый. Ну тут, короче, крышу немного снесло. Сидуха там где-то валяется. Она стала идеально заводиться вообще.
A woman from occupied Donetsk showed the steps she has to take to prepare water just to wash herself.
Water in Donetsk. Smells like, excuse me, sewage. These are my old supplies that I stocked up on during the last business trip. We take Aquabris tablets, and to make a bath, we drop them. There it sizzles, that's the tablet. A little citric acid, because it's also hard moreover. So it's not just a sediment and smell, and from such water something quite clear is obtained. Well, plus you must boil it, of course. Here's my bath.
And appliance.
Now I will show it to you.
In supplies, a device, this one here.
Well, that's all. Have a pleasant evening, everyone.
Putin said that the West confiscating Russian frozen assets would be generally beneficial for the global economy because the movement toward regionalization of payment systems will undoubtedly accelerate and become irreversible.
A significant portion of our Russian gold and currency reserves is frozen in Western banks, and they are constantly talking about that they are going to steal our money. As soon as this happens, the movement towards regionalization. Payment systems certainly will accelerate and gain, without any doubt, an irreversible nature. Therefore, and this is generally beneficial for the global economy. Maybe it's worth paying for it. But by the way, because I just thought, after all, my basic education is in law. I said, the theft of our gold and foreign exchange reserves. Theft is the secret taking of property, and this is open. This is robbery. And therefore we, of course, we are focused on further strengthening our own financial settlement tools in this regard. We will do this in collaboration with Eurozone participants and other friendly states.
Ukraine is starting to use Bayraktar TB2s again. After months of silence, Ukraine has brought the Bayraktar TB2 drone back to the front. Footage released by the Ukrainian Navy shows a TB2 striking and destroying a Russian military boat in a river area of Kherson. The Netherlands and Belgium have transferred 2 mine hunters to Ukraine, according to Dutch Defense Minister Brekkelmans. Ukrainian crews and technical personnel completed training in record time. Belgium transferred the BNS Narcissus, and the Netherlands provided the Vlaardingen. The Vlaardingen will be renamed Melitopol, and the Narcissus will now sail under the name Mariupol. A Russian Shadow fleet tanker under international sanctions sailed through the Baltic Sea and into Russian territorial waters using fraudulent registration, according to analysts tracking maritime violations. Andriy Klimenko, head of the Black Sea and Baltic Strategic Research Monitoring Group, reported the vessel's June 26th entry into Russian waters in a Facebook post. The vessel in question is Sierra, a crude oil tanker with a capacity of 100,000 tons. Formerly named Suvorovsky Prospect, it was owned by the Russian state-controlled shipping company Sovcomflot until October 1, 2024. On June 16, 2025, the Russian multi-role corvette Boyki, hull number 532, met the oil tanker in the Mediterranean Sea and escorted it to the North Sea. Now operating under the flag of landlocked Malawi, the tanker was recently re-registered by a company based in Dubai. Its sanctioned status includes listings by the United States, October 17, 2024, the European Union, December 17, 2024, and Canada, February 21, 2025. Such reflagging under landlocked states is not uncommon. Countries like Bolivia, Mongolia, and Moldova, despite lacking maritime borders, offer open ship registries that have been used for questionable vessel operations. A recent investigation by Lloyd's List revealed that Malawi's ship registry was fraudulently used. The Malawian government confirmed that the registry was unauthorized. According to Lloyd's List, the number of vessels using Malawi's false flag has risen to nearly 300, an increase of 170% over 2 years. At least 4 sanctioned tankers are now registered under this flag. Under Article 110 of the 1982 United Nations Law of the Sea Convention, a warship has the right to inspect vessels without nationality on the high seas. However, as Klimenko notes, the Baltic Sea does not include high seas areas. Maritime zones there are either territorial waters, contiguous zones, or exclusive economic zones, EEZs. In maritime law, the contiguous zone extends 24 nautical miles from a state's coastline and allows for enforcement of customs, immigration, or environmental laws. The EEZ stretches up to 200 nautical miles and grants exclusive rights for resource use. Klimenko criticized the Baltic states and their allies for lacking the political will to enforce maritime law against such violations, especially given the presence of NATO's Baltic Sentinel, launched in early 2025. Leonid Vashchenko, a member of the Center for International Maritime Security, echoed concerns about enforcement. He noted the financial and legal burdens associated with seizing such vessels. "It's not profitable," Vashchenko said. "You're stuck with a problematic ship, legal proceedings over the cargo and ownership drag on for years, and disposal or resale becomes complicated." Still, he added, the high profits from illicit oil transport meant the practice remained economically viable for ship owners, even if they lost individual vessels. The term shadow fleet generally refers to a network of tankers that Russia uses to evade Western sanctions imposed in response to its full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.